Hello! Oh my goodness, so many people! Hi! Welcome, welcome. So many technical difficulties. Wow, good golly gosh. But welcome. We are here nonetheless. My headphones are living on 10% in a dream. But also, I saw, and I would love to point out that our wonderful friend, moderator, fellow streamer, Inushik has finally gotten, after a long time of fighting with things, has finally gotten a house today. And I think that is beyond amazing, and I am so happy for you. That's awesome. I am so glad that your struggle is over in that department. That's awesome. But hi! So everyone take all the time to congratulate our dear friend. My kitten is having a time today. Everything's having a time today. I don't know what today is or what god I've pissed off, but holy heck is today fighting me. Today, I did get iron today though. That was a really good time because my body needs it. That was the fun part of my day. I got to go get stabbed. This ring light is too in my way of my computer screen. But hello, all you wonderful people. Let me say hi to peeps. Let me say hi. We got the moon, and I saw Tide Moon and Tide. Thank you for pinning the stuff on top. I saw y'all messing with the content warning. My headphones are on 10% right now. So know that I started the stream with 10%, and I think the battery is actually gonna fucking go hard because this battery is really fucking good. I think the only thing is I was wearing the cat headphones and they kept cutting out and they were really unhappy, and I'm assuming that's because they don't have enough charge in them. They might like be so dead that they can't keep up with charging and going. But I don't know where the box is for them. I might know where it is, but not. I'm gonna have to find it later. But I need to consider that they might be too dead to function. They're charging right now, so hopefully that's fine. Hopefully they'll bounce back. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where things are. I'm not gonna plug them into the computer because I think that's also making them angry. I'm gonna plug it into like an actual power cord or a actual. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? 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 I don't know how I lose things so easily. I lose things so easily. I feel like I shouldn't lose things this easily. May, I need you to go lay down, honey. Okay. Ah, I got a tiny cat. Ah, tiny. Boom. cat on camp. We are rocking out in all black today, honey. You're always rocking out in all black. Ooh, scritches. Ooh, the scritches. Oh, the scritches. Oh. Oh. You ready to get down? Oh. You can sit with me. I just need my chair for the most part. Oh, are my headphones gonna die? I don't know, y'all. If my headphones die, I think they did. I don't know what to do today. But Tommy, I see people said they're in for the first time. I'm so sorry this is your experience for the first time. Oh no, the song just ended. Never mind, fuck me. It's fine. And I saw M and Doctor and... Oh, captions. Oh wait. Oh, captions are on. Oh, that means my microphone's doing busted stuff. Maybe stop start? Maybe stop start? Just a little stop start? Everything just needs a stop start today? Captions, you're still not going. They're angry. Oh, and Ash, hi! We have started right off the bat with chaos. I have no idea. I have no idea. What will today's game be? I am playing through Wolf Among Us for the first time. I've never played it, but people seem to really like it. And I've been swayed. It also reminds me of Black Sad, which I loved. Black Sad. Black Sad was so good. And it reminded me heavily of Black Sad. Wolf Daddy, that's why my title is, what is my title? Wolf Daddy Detective Boy? Wolf Daddy Detective Boy. It's who I wish I could be when I grow up. It's apparently very Wolf Daddy Detective, and I'm just like, I can do Wolf Daddy Detective. I can do that. Oh, Sky, hi! I have earbuds in, so you can hear. Hells yeah, I have headphones that might last 10%. They are beeping in and out, and usually when they start beeping in and out, it's getting to the end of their existence, being alive. But the battery life on these headphones are insane. I got through 3 hours on stream one time for a collab stream with Dad and a few other peeps on 10%. 3 hours. 3 hours. And they charge like that, like it's nothing. Have a good lurk time. Oh, it's been one heck of a week. Oh, I love you. I'm so sorry. I hope you get to do all the rest times. Oh, also, I forgot. Did I tell you that I got my wife a cotton candy maker, and I think we're gonna try to do cotton candy on stream for the next charity event? Did I tell y'all that? I'm so excited about that. I got her a cotton candy maker for her birthday, and I was like, I will be doing this for our charity event. I will be making cotton candy times. She really likes cotton candy, and I thought it'd be cute for us to, it's really fucking hard to make cotton candy. It's so hard. Nobody told me how hard it would be to do cotton candy. Actually the review said it would be hard. Oh, my fireplace isn't on. Also, if you're comfortable doing so, do a pronoun check. Mine are he, him. My subtitles might join us today. Maybe. They might not. It's up to how they're feeling, I guess. I'm trying to turn my TV on so I can do the fireplace, and then we'll start the game. Giving everybody a moment to get on in here, because we are starting a story narrative game, which no spoilers, no helping, no hints, no tips, no tricks, no nothing. Nothing. Thank you, Moon. I have a safe word for whenever I actually need help. No. Back home. Sorry, I'm fucking with the TV. Volume's gonna... Did I tell y'all me and... I'll be right back, I'll buy beer? Yeah. Go get, anybody go get your beverage of choices. I have Schweed. A small hit, because I gotta be on my shit. I gotta be Detective Boy Wonder Boy. Detective Wolf Boy Wonder Boy. 24-hour fireplace? Give it to me after these commercials. Give me the fireplace. No, give me the fireplace. Give it to me. My headphones are cutting out. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. Oh, this is like a, this is a wild fireplace. Love it. Here for it. I'm absolutely oh, Moon. Yeah. You, holy fuck yeah, you better have a beverage when you get home. It's not a drink. I'm having a little weed as a treat for doing iron today. Because that was so spooky. Oh shit, y'all. I need to download. How long does it take to download Wolf Among Us? I haven't even started doing that. Because I'm a professional. Oh, also, this game was gifted to me by the wonderful Gin and Tonic. I totally missed it. They gifted it to me actually a couple of days ago while I was doing big sick times. Also, Cult of the Lamb has an update. We will be voting on whether or not we want to do Cult of the Lamb. Also, the poll, we voted on what game we wanted to do tonight. And Stardew and I put Stardew on a poll. Stardew and Wolf Among Us tied. My headphones just died. Stardew and Wolf Among Us tied. So I picked Wolf Among Us because it was gifted to us and it's a new game. I do want to get back to Cult of the Lamb, and that'll probably be on next stream's poll. Yeah, the song stopped because my headphones died. Well, it's fine. Play both at the same time. I'm trying to wolf. You know what? I don't need music. Hold on. My headphone, these also, another grand thing about these headphones, they charge at a stupidly fast pace. Like, you can leave them charged for 5-10 minutes and they'll fucking charge. So honestly, if I just do this for like a moment, they'll probably be charged enough because they charge really fast. So it's just you and me right now. It's just us. It's just us. It's just a little bit of an us. I'm gonna play around with something. My thing never used to take the headset for letting things be heard. If you know what I mean. Like, that's new. That I have to set to my headphones for. Oh, what? Y'all can hear it? Is there sound on stream? Was it a redeem? Can y'all hear that? Aven! Hi, friendo. It looks like something is playing because I can see it barely bouncing, but that's super confusing. Ooh, we'll still play because I think it's on a different track, but something is playing for my stream sound and I don't know what it is. I don't know what that's about. What are you even on right now? Oh, wait. Oh, y'all, I'm so dumb. Hold on. I forgot I can... Hold on. I'm such a dummy. I forgot that I can keep my headphones plugged in not to the computer. Hold on. I forgot that both of these are technically Bluetooth. Hold on a minute. I'm being silly. I'm being sassy. Come here, big bad headphones. What are you doing? What are you doing? Y'all get to hear the little... dun, dun, dun. It makes like a little noise. Oh, you can't hear it because it's not plugged in. Damn. Okay, but I forget how to pair these. Oh, thanks, Dobby. I'm having a grand time. Usually, sound tech stuff would freak me out. Nah, not right now. I'm vibing, y'all. I'm a professional. I've gotten to the point where if tech breaks on stream, Why did they vibrate? Why did they vibrate? Oh my god, what happened? That's spooking. That's not scary. Why did you vibrate? Why did they vibrate? Why did you vibrate? That's concerning. It's only concerning because I've never had a headphone vibrate. I don't even know what it did, it just vibrated. That's correct. Would you like... Would you... Where? Oh. No, I don't want to... I want to discard the changes. Oh wait, shit, let me make sure Wolf Among Us is actually downloading. Fucking fuck! Oh, we're so chill today. We're vibe. All vibe. Only vibe. Only vibes. There it is. Install. Go, go, go. And now it'll do that while we do this. Jen! I'm late because I'm mad chill. I was making chili. Sorry, mad chill. My TV, is it Wolf It's Wolf Daddy time. Oh, I can hear that. But y'all can't? I can fix that. Yeah, I can fix that. Nope, I made it angry. Oh, I made it angry. Why? Oh, I clicked it. That one was my fault. I made it angry. I cannot hear this. This is baffling me. I've never had a headphone. I've never had a headphone that y'all can hear it, I can't hear it. It's going on and off for when I can hear it. So like sometimes I can hear it. Sometimes. Y'all can hear stuff because headphones are alive letting you. It's really quiet though. Wait, are my headphones just turned down? I don't know. I really have never had this. Headphones? Yeah, the correct ones are selected. It's almost like maybe they just aren't charged enough. Maybe they're struggling. Don't know how that one would work. But open sound settings. Oh, oh. Wow. Is that better? And I can't hear with them again. It's fine. We're just gonna go for it. We're gonna fuck music. We don't need music. Still quiet, really? The game is downloading anyway. And then honestly, the oh, I think it turned off. Let me see. That's not right. Spotify, if you're not gonna work properly on this thing, get out. Whoop. There, now y'all have music. How's that? That's so weird. You can hear that? Sweet. Alright, that's fine. I just want to have music for X amount. It's fine. It's fine. I just want to play a Wolf Daddy game. That's all I want. But how's our Wednesday going? Is it Wednesday? Tell me about your Wednesday while we wait for headphones to charge up a teeny weeny bit and for the game to finish downloading. Maybe it's something with Spotify. Maybe it'll allow me to hear the game. Maybe. One could be hopeful. Wow, thanks for shouting out my podcast. Chris, I'm so excited for you to get into the story. If you love the Nancy Drew, you'll go bonkers for this. I'm so excited. I do love Nancy Drew so much. Speaking of Nancy Drew, we started Alibi and Ashes for any of my Nancy fans. And me and my roommate and my wife started Alibi and Ashes like 2 nights ago, and it was so much fun. It feels like the Nancy that came about after, so like Nancy, they were making games, and then I think technically like the 12th game in the series or something like that was supposed to be the final one. The whole series in total has 32, with the last game being released in 2015 or 2022. I can't remember. I think one was released 2015, then the next one was released like 2022 or something. Like super recent, but it doesn't have Nancy. Nancy's voice stops after the 30th game. I guess she retired from doing it. So me and my roommate have already been like, we don't see those games. We're not going to play those because it doesn't have the original Nancy. But we are currently on Alibi and Ashes, which I think is one of the newer games because they're throwing everything. You get to like play as Ned, who is like, you have characters. Nancy has characters in her universe where you like never really get to see them. They're kind of just there, like Ned and Bess and George and stuff. Sometimes we have the Hardy Boys. You get to play the Hardy Boys for the Creature of Tapu Cave or something. I forgot which one it is. But other than that, you never get it. And in this one, Nancy is being framed for the case that we're having to solve. So we're having to solve it inside like a holding cell. And then you get to keep switching out to be the different characters that you usually never get to see. And they have animations for them, which never happen. Like they have like characters like actually like in the world, like moving and doing about it. It's really cool. I don't know. I'll spew about Nancy all night long. I had to do a bunch of cleaning today. My mom was coming in to stay for a week. Oh god, Toad, I'm so sorry that you had to do cleaning times. Whenever people come in, it's go time. It's like I have to clean. I have to make it look good. All I know about the Hardy Boys is the South Park parody when they investigate. We pooped in a year. There's Hardy Boys in South Park. I never watched a lot of South Park. But I'm down for the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys was definitely before. Oh, I can hear the music. Whoa. Sweet. Something. I feel like something is massively broken. Oh, now I can't hear it. It's fine. Thank you, Moon. She's coming to watch the kids, pets, and house. Aw. Oh my god, so my wife and I can go on vacation for 15-year wedding anniversary. Whoa, fuck Toad. That's awesome. Hells yeah. That's bomb.com. Aw. 15 years is such a fucking long time. Me and wife are about to, this September, we're making a decade. And I don't know what to do. Y'all are gonna have to help me come up with some, don't tell her. You're gonna have to help me come up with some ideas to do for our decade anniversary. Maybe I'll take her. I kind of want to get on a boat and eat sushi because I saw it. I don't know where we could do that, but we've been watching Love is Blind, which if you want to like retain any of your sanity, don't watch Love is Blind. But if you want to laugh your ass off at a really, really dramatic reality show, watch it. But one of the dates that they went and did was like they had like a little boat, not like a big boat, like a little like 2-person boat that somebody does pilot besides you, and they have like sushi on the water. I want that. I want to do that. I also learned that I like a kind of sushi that is just fish and jalapeno wrapped in seaweed with rice, and that is it. Decade trip to Europe, somewhere cool and romantic. I don't want to go anywhere too far. We also want to save up to hopefully move in the next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We're going to Disney for a day before taking a 3-day cruise to the Bahamas. Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking chill, vibe, relax, like fucking soak in all of that goodness. Oh, welcome back, sound. I do love the back and forth of sometimes I get sound, sometimes I don't get sound. I think it's real cool. I think it's a feature. I love escape rooms. Oh, sound's gone. Real life Nancy, I love escape rooms. I worked for haunted houses and escape rooms for a long time. And I would love to go back and do one. Maybe we'll get our roommates to go too, because I like to escape rooms with 2 people aren't as fun. But yeah. I can't hear the music anymore, so. Escape room and sushi. That does sound like a fantastic date. Maybe we could do that. I gotta see what escape rooms are in Manhattan. There's gotta be some cool escape rooms in Manhattan. Boom, 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 boom. My wife, however, she's gotten into the Nancy Drews because of me. She had never played them, and then I wouldn't stop. I actually have 2 full. All that back there is also, that's Nancy stuff. I have oh y'all, I've filled up 2 notebooks for Nancy. Do I need a notebook for Wolf Among Us? Is it notes? Because I'll take fucking notes. Look, you don't need to give me a reason to take notes. I love my sound going in and out. It makes me excited. Also, Wolf Among Us has finished downloading. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Hells yeah. Also, the lights are it's too bright. It's too bright in here. I need it so much darker. Okay. Give me my game. Play. Oh shit. Whoa. Whoa, angry. Why did it just push everything to the side? Oh shit, it's one of those games, isn't it? Oh, poopin'. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn the stream sound off because it's gonna shove everything. Why does it do that? I hate things that do that. I'm not a girl. I use he and pronouns. I'm a whole ass boy. I'm a whole ass dude. A wild void? Are you my cat? It's telling me to click anywhere to begin, but I can't. I'm gonna begin, but I can't. I need to adjust the screen stuff because it's pushing y'all. I can't see OBS or anything anymore. Oof, that's loud. Oof. See, this is why I don't bring y'all along for. Oh, it really doesn't like Wolf Among Us. Oh, poopy. Ba-ba. Thanks. I also like my headphones when they decide to work properly. That's when I like them the most. But alas, we reached 20 years. We're going to do a vow renewal. There's a place near me that looks like a shrine from Lord of the Rings, and the dress code will be Ren Fair. Oh my god, you're living my dream. Toad. Living my entire dream right now. I forgot it's a Telltale game too, y'all. Oh, it's gonna be so good. My headphones are pretty dope. Thanks, Ash. Oh god, I can't stop thinking of Lord of the Ring fucking Ren Fair-esque vow renewal. I want that to be my wedding. Also, I'm probably gonna switch over the headphones in just a little bit because I'm telling you, when I'm not a sponsor for these headphones, but I feel like I should be at this point because holy heck, they are so good and they charge so stupid fast. It's honestly quite shocking. Let me see if I can. I don't know what would be pushing the screen. Graphics quality, sure. Why would you be on 1920 by 1080. Pretty please. Thank you. Wildly bizarre that it did that. Audio and video. Oh, subtitles. Fuck yeah, subtitles. Master volume. Let's crank it down to a sassy. Okay, a 5 looks much better. Okay, that looks a little quiet. That looks much better. Is that better? That looks much better. Oh, that's still really high. Boo. Also, there is a warning for Wolf Among Us, because it apparently does have heavier themes, so please check that out. It's been at the top of my chat if that applies to you. Okay, yeah, Moon. I turned the audio off so you couldn't hear it, because it was really loud. How's that? I mean, I clicked out the game so you can't hear it, but how's that? Much better? I don't know what gameplay, as long as there's no like motion blur. I'm also playing on keyboard and mouse. Sounds promising. Sweet. A little bit, he do. Oh my god, speaking of, I'm so fucking excited for fucking Shaggy to play William Afton in the new Five Nights movies. Fuck Scott Cawthon. Like, so heavily. But they got Shaggy. Yeah, go do lunch times. Do what you gotta do, Ash. I still can't hear, but if it sounds good to you, I feel like I want to be able to hear though. I'm switching the headphones. I'm doing it. Yeah, I want to hear the game. Let's see how charged my headphones are. It's been 10 minutes. How long has my headphones been charging? Watch this. Watch this shit. I'm gonna have to reconnect them real quick, but... Oh wait, I gotta get out the game. Watch how charged these bad boys are gonna be. Are they really only at 10%? That feels incorrect. Anywho. And I can switch y'all over. I'm gonna play a little bit of this fucking game, if it's the last thing I do. If I'd known these would have crapped out, I would have had the other ones charging. There we go. Oh, hopefully that's not too loud for y'all. I'm gonna turn the volume down a good bit. Oh, that is so loud. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Like the other headphones were not this loud. So it's making me think that like that's it. Too loud. Where is it? I've never played the Telltales. Or I've watched people play Telltales, but I haven't played it myself. I want to adopt you? I shouldn't be in charge of anyone, considering I can barely take care of myself and my cat. Hopefully that's not too... That's still so loud. That's making me sad. That I cannot get this balanced. This audio balanced. Oh, it's because this is not the right... This is making me a sad. It's making me a sad. Okay. That seems like it's not gonna blow y'all's eardrum out, so we'll go with this. No, you're good, Moon. Oh, I could just... You know what, Moon? That's a good idea. I usually don't like messing with stream sound in OBS and like controlling it through the game itself, but it refuses to not be anything but like stupid loud. Some games I found just some games just do that. They're just like, ridiculously loud for no reason. Got you. It's pretty low. Oh, you ready to start this after like fucking an hour? Oh wait, this one. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. Start. How do I start? If it's too loud, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do if it's too loud. I don't know what to do. If my headphones dies, I don't care. I don't know what to do. Once upon a time in New York City, there lived a community of fairy tale characters known as Fabletown. The fables who live there have arrived hundreds of years ago after they were exiled from their homelands. Through the use of magic spell called Glamour, they have protected their secret community from the mundane world. Sheriff Bigby Wolf protects them from each other.
105 today again if you missed it. A record for the date. Hottest ever in June. 103 now. And that
I might have to turn it up a little bit.
Remember, the hotter the air is, the more moisture it can hold.
Ooh.
So 103 with 31% humidity is a lot more humid than, say, 73 with 31% humidity. And it is muggy out there.
And it is muggy out there. Is it? Is it muggy out there? Sorry, I'm being condescending already. It's not my want to be condescending. I'm getting in my energy, my mood to be a steely-eyed wolf detective daddy. I'm getting my snarkasm on. Brian, welcome in.
Mr. Toad?
Shit. Bigby! Listen, mate, I know I don't look human. It's a
Whoops, that was me. I'm turning it up a little bit because it is a little low.
I get it. I just stepped out the apartment for just a second to see what kind of damage this drunk shit is doing. Just cut me a break, yeah? I'll get me glamour first thing in the morning. Cross my arm. No need to kick up a fuss.
Well, I'm so sorry. I was looking at Noir checklist.
Come on, Bigby.
No, shit, fuck,
Say
stop.
something.
How do I restart? I want to answer. Shit.
Starting to scare me.
If you can't afford to look human, you're going to the farm.
Oh, silence is a
It's as
valid
simple as that.
option.
You can't send me up to live with those animals.
Exit and start a new game. Silence is sometimes
You know
key, it
what
told
I
me.
mean?
Go see a witch. Get a glamour.
Bigby, they're bleeding me dry, mate. The quality of the spell goes down, but the rates keep climbing up. Do you have any idea how much it costs to have an entire family in glamour?
I don't make the rules. Sorry.
Oh my god. I'm so scared.
I can't give you a free pass on this, Toad. My hands are tied.
Right, right.
There's too much at stake. Whatever it costs, it's worth it. You don't want me catching you out of glamour again.
Fuck!
Was that bad?
See? This is what I told you about, Sheriff. You're just gonna stand there, do something, Bigby, before he completely tears up the place.
Fuck! God, that's fast!
Thanks for that, Bigby. You're a real gentleman.
Frog, it's too fast!
This is the last straw, Bigby. He has to go.
I'm heading up. Oh, going upstairs. That the sound was coming
Get
from
your
upstairs.
tricked up shite. Tell me how to spend my money.
Dad, the lights are shaking again.
What did I say? You want a big bad wolf to take you away?
No.
Then get the fuck back inside.
Is Bigby the big bad wolf? Ah, I'm so excited! Are we the big bad wolf?
You're gonna know who I fucking am, you hear me?
Okay.
Hey, look at me.
Just stop, okay? You're drunk. Let go.
Look at the matchbook on the floor and use the hand icon to pick it up? Yeah, sure.
Take a
Big
look.
B wolf,
Take
big
a
B
good
wolf,
look.
big bad wolf.
Know who
Oh
I
my
am
god.
now? Hey,
I want
look
a
at
big
me.
bad wolf.
Get
Oh
out
my
of
god,
here.
I can pick up stuff for later. Thank you, Moon. If y'all see a better place for my camera to go, let me know. Maybe the top left might be a good solid one. I'm gonna kick in the door because I'm a big B wolf. Also, they're yelling too much.
Know who I
Whoa,
am
whoa,
now,
whoa,
don't
hey,
you?
hey!
Oh, get him!
You got
Get
something
him!
on your face.
Fuck are you talking about, you stupid?
Pin him against the wall. Ooh, fuck.
I'll fucking kill you! You fucker!
What's going on?
All right, what's going on?
What are you gonna fucking do, huh?
Fight you?
Get the fuck out of the way before you get the axe again.
Woody, I'm gonna break your fucking face.
Is that a fact?
It is because you're being a little dickwad.
You got a shit fucking memory, Wolf. That's not how it went last time.
I'm
This
scared.
isn't last time.
Oh wait, I can't. Ah, I'm about to start over. I can't wait. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I get it. I've downloaded the lore. I understand what the game requires from me. Fuck it. I don't want change save file. Delete. Get out of here. Delete. Gone. Bye. Between almost 2 years. Oh my goodness, that's so long. How have you been? How are the pups? How are the dogs? I got this. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I gravely apologize. This is how the game series adapts to make choices. Blah, 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 blah. Choices, choices, choices. Big B Wolf in New York City. They've been good? Yay, heck yeah. There will be a good moments to take a break and look at chat. When you're walking around at stuff is a good time. So I need to pay attention because it's just gonna go. This is more of a look at the chat game than chat. Yeah. I gotcha.
105 today again if you
No
missed it,
spoilers. I
record for the
won't
date,
say
hottest ever in
anything.
June, 103
Or I
now,
won't say unless you
humanity
ask, but did
looks
you
low,
understand who the man was in the
remember,
flannel?
hotter the air
I'm
is, the
assuming he's
more
some kind of
moisture it can
storybook
hold.
character.
So 103 with 31% humidity
Some
is
kind of
a lot
lumberjack?
more humid than, say, 73 with 31%.
It reminded me of the character
and
from
it is
Hoodwink,
muggy out there.
but I don't know if that's what that's what it's referring to. Also, who remembers Hoodwinked? That shit was. Me and Katie looked at it recently. Like, we were just like, it came across something on TikTok about old, like, movies you watched as a kid. That's just scary. Hoodwinked is scary. Wait, who is it, Toad? Tell me. You can tell me. You can tell me. Unless it's like pivotal to the story that I know this character, but. Who has an axe? What fairy tale fable has an axe? Oh, wait. Think of who the wolf would have interacted with woodsman-wise? Now I'm just thinking of the movie I said. Oh, is that what happens at the end of Red Riding Hood?
Mr. Toad?
Does the wolf cut? Does the woodsman cut open the
Bigby.
wolf?
Listen,
Have I
mate,
never finished
I
Red
know
Riding
I don't
Hood?
look
I
human.
thought it stopped
It's
with the
a
wolf
problem,
eating the
I get it.
grandma.
I just stepped out the apartment for just a second to see
And
what
then,
kind
like,
of
cut
damage this
frame.
drunk shit is doing. Just cut me a break, yeah? I'll get me glamour first thing in the morning.
Get me, Glamour.
Cross my arm. No need to kick up a fuss.
Look,
You're right.
no harm done. I'll give you a pass, but listen. If you can't afford to look human, you're going to the farm. It's as simple as that.
You can't send me up to live with those animals. You know what I mean.
Go see a witch. Get a glamour.
Bigby, they're bleeding me dry, mate. The quality of the spout goes down, but the rates keep climbing up. Do you have any idea how much it costs to have an entire family in glamour?
I don't make
I
the
don't
rules.
make the rules. Sorry.
But bye, Between you for being here.
I can't give you a free pass on this, Toad. My hands are tied.
Right.
There's too much at stake. Whatever it costs, it's worth it. You don't want me catching you out of glamour again.
Gotta be ready. I'm sorry, I'm
Fuck
fiddling
you
with
now.
stuff.
See? This is what I called you about, Sheriff. You're just gonna stand there, do something, Bigby, before he completely tears up the place.
I should probably go handle this.
Yes, please. Thank you.
That's a much better interaction.
Very prick gobshite. Tell me how to spend my money.
Dad, the lights are shaking again.
What did I say? You want a big bad wolf to take you away?
No.
Then get the fuck back inside.
This is my favorite thing. I'm so excited. I'm in love with it already.
You're gonna know who I fucking am, you hear me? Hey, look at me!
I'm still gonna hit him.
Stop, okay? You're drunk.
Let go! Take a look.
Typical New York City,
Know who I
father.
am now? Hey, look at me!
That's the other thing. If you are used to happy Disney fairy tales, this ain't them. This is dark shit. I do know about the Grimm fairy tales. The what do you call it? Like the Cinderella one.
God damn you! No.
So who's this?
Whoa, hey, hey!
Ooh.
You've got something on your face.
Fuck are you talking about, you stupid? I'll
Yummy.
fucking kill you! You fucker!
All right, everyone.
Was he gonna hit me in the head anyway?
What are you gonna fucking do, huh? Get the fuck out of the way before you get the axe again.
Woody, this is your last
Oh.
warning. If you keep on like this, I won't have any choice but to put you down.
Put me down? You got a shit fucking memory, Wolf. That's not how it went last time.
This isn't last time.
Shit, I wasn't ready again, y'all. I'm so sorry. I was drinking.
That whore's gonna watch me kill you.
I'm so sorry. Fuck. Oh, I pushed down. I pushed S. I don't. Am I supposed to like move my mouse with it? Or just hit it? It's a huge power move to take the first punch. There. Yeah, I'll take that punch. Ooh. God, this is fucking difficult, yo! No, I clicked out the game. Fuck you! I don't like it.
Fucking glutton for punishment.
Fuck you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what I did. I clicked something in chat.
Asshole.
I'm fucking getting him. I said killing him, but I'm not killing him. I don't want to kill him. I'm fucking killing it. Fuck. Ah, what the fuck? God, I'm so scared. What do you do? Q. I don't know what Q does. Fuck you, game. Fuck your shit. Fuck you. God, fuck. Isn't it who the girl is? I don't. Fuck. Gotta mash the Q. Oh, the Q was to mash. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I forgot I gotta do the thing. Oh my god, would this be easier with controller? Do people usually play Telltale on controller? Because I can do that. Whoa, that was spooky.
You should probably get out of here.
Look, I'm not leaving until I get what's mine.
You're not getting shit, bitch. I'll fucking put you in the ground.
Hey, if you can't be nice, I'm gonna make you wait outside.
Oh, fucking shit. You bugged my jaw, you bastard.
Yeah, you're being a little
Still
dickwad.
you talk.
Fuck
She
you.
looks like the little cat. She's like Maria. Or, not Maria.
What
What
the
happened?
hell is going on?
What happened?
What happened?
A little misunderstanding that turned into a real shit show. Don't worry, you saw the best bits.
There's more where that came from, girly.
Knock it off.
Look, this is just the start of a shitty night for me. I just need the money he owes me, then I can go.
What are you doing here?
These lips are sealed.
Why was he
Why
hitting
was
you?
he hitting you?
Maybe you should ask him that.
I will, but I asked you first.
Do I need notes? I want to use notes.
He asked me if I recognized him, knew who he was. I said I didn't. He started beating on me. Then you showed up, started beating on him. That about cover it, hun?
I'm the woodsman, you whore. I saved Little Red Riding Hood from this monster.
Is it Little
I
Red
cut
Riding
this
Hood?
fucker open and filled his belly full of stones and threw him in the fucking river. That's who the fuck I am, you stupid bitch.
Hey, what did I say about that word?
Come on.
I thought I died again. I was gonna get real fucking annoyed. That was a swell interaction.
Shit. Hey, Toad.
My car?
Yeah. Give me a second.
Oh, no, by all means. Take your time. Make yourself comfortable. Did I
Sorry.
get you anything? Pillow, perhaps?
I just fell out of a
Sorry about the
window.
car. We ended up going out the window. Couldn't be avoided.
I can't be mad at you. I called you, and you come to help. I can't be mad.
That's true.
But even when you help, things end up more fucked than they started.
Game will give you a codex. Oh,
Well,
that's what
at least
y'all
you're
were
not
saying.
fucking
Thank you,
dead.
sorry. Like a, I got you. Not notes for me to take. I'm not ready. Mash, 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 ready to go. Ooh, mash the button.
Fuck around. I know you're fucking in there.
God,
Come
no,
on
but
out, you
shit.
fucking
That's-
dog.
Dude,
Put you
what
on
is
your
happening?
misery. You
I'm
fucking
mashing.
You ignorant fuck.
Also, fuck shit. What is happening? I don't know if I want to be mashing. Shit, fuck. Uh-oh. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm just getting what he owes me. You alright back there? I mean, your eyes and the teeth. You're not really supposed to do that, are you?
Not if I
I'm
can
a
avoid
wolf.
Great.
guy's got an axe in his brain. He's not feeling that.
It's more from me. He'll be fine.
I'll kill you, you fucking bitch.
Let me help you.
Yeah, let her fuck.
He's having a bad day.
That makes two of us. I guess it's a good thing fables are hard to kill.
Suppose it is.
I assumed. Fucking brutal.
Shit. Just come on.
I need my blanket. I need a blanket. Oh, wait. I'm friendly.
Here.
Thanks.
Who do you work for, really?
These lips are sealed. Sorry.
They can be unsealed. We can unseal our lips together. No, I'm.
Hey,
I
you
would
like
with
my
Big
ribbon?
Beautiful.
I don't know what else to say.
Thank you.
I thought it was like the
Feel
little
like
Marie
we've
cat
met before.
from Aristocats, but
We
I don't think
probably
they're a
have.
fable.
We all sort of knew each other at one point or another. But things change, I guess.
Am I supposed to know
I
who it
guess.
is already? I'm also taking my socks off. Don't worry. No feet appear on this camera tonight.
Shit.
Stop. We don't have to make any more of a thing out of it than it already is.
It's not just about you. I can't have him running around the city in the state he's in.
Good, because I was just starting to worry it was all about me.
No, well,
That's not what I mean. How much was it he owed you?
100.
I'm guessing it'd be bad for you to show up empty-handed.
I'll be fine.
no, I'll give her some money.
Let's see, I've got, it's 20, 40, 7, 8, 58. It's all I got. It'll help, right? Take it.
It's okay. I'll be fine.
No, take
You've
it.
done enough, really.
Just take the money, okay?
Yeah.
You got me out of a bad situation back there. Thanks.
Yay.
I'm still gonna need a statement.
Big scary
I have to go
wolf
drop
is
off
so helpful.
What I have.
Meet me back at my office then.
It's a little late for an office visit, Sheriff. I'll swing by your apartment.
How do you know where I...
You live in the smallest apartment in the Woodlands.
Quinarito.
Everyone knows that.
Ingredients to
know.
make include one
should get
comfy
cleaned up.
tortilla wrap.
You look like shit. And
Shit, I
I
need
don't use
snacks
that
to
term
fill.
lightly. Some of these look pretty bad.
I clean up okay.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm suave.
Hey,
I'm charming.
I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You're not as bad as everyone says you are.
Am I supposed to know
I'll see you around, Wolf.
who the person is? Is it within Red Riding Hood? Like universe? Oh wait. Putting the risen Bigby Wolf. Shit. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to make connections. I almost said, is it grandma? Because I thought, because we had the lumberjack and then we had Wolf, and then I was like, oh, it must be another Red Riding Hood character. Ooh. Ooh, I'm so excited. Whoa. This is so cute. Fucking can't. This is so good. Okay. The Woodland Apartment's late. Okay. The Woodland.
Luxury apartments. Wish they wouldn't advertise that.
Oh, Codex. Wait. Oh, wait. Maybe I don't have it. Okay. Wait. Sorry. I'm gonna look around some too.
Some can sometimes be
Hit escape.
disciplinarian.
Is it Book of Fables? Oh, the foam. Oh, it's Book of Fables? Oh, I thought these were little achievements. Okay, okay. The Woodsman is one of the few men who went toe-to-toe with Bigby in his Black Forest days and lived to tell the tale. Let's put the Great Wolf belly open with an axe. Oof, Lord. Oh, I can scroll. Oh, I can scroll. The farm is home to fables who cannot pass as human. Giants, goblins, animals, etc. It's located in upstate New York, far away from what's Mundies? Like people. The farm is a prison. They would be allowed to leave the farm if they could purchase a glamour, but many don't have the money for something so expensive. Though some, like Colin, sneak out into the city anyway. Glamour. Glamorous disguise spell. Okay. I don't see the person though. Sweet. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Back to it. Oh, also my camera, sorry. I was gonna move my camera. Maybe up here is good. And I'll like shrink it a little bit for the stream. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we shrink it. And then I'll move the time. Time can go like up here. I think this is probably fine. Yeah, Woodland Apartments. I like that. I did catch that and I like that. Can I go any? Oh, I can speed walk with my little speedy boy boots. Is that fucking Red Riding Hood? In the...
Come on out.
I should have said stay off the grass.
All right, all right.
Beauty.
Beauty?
Hello, Bigby. I wasn't expecting anyone. I know this looks a little odd, but there's an explanation, I swear.
So, where are you off to?
Well, I went for a walk. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Didn't say there was.
Yeah, but you were
It's
hiding.
not a big deal. Just, you know, out. For a walk. That's all.
That's so sus. You're
Damn
being
it,
so
I'm
sussy.
late.
Late for your walk?
Please, Bigby. Promise me you won't tell Beast you saw me. He worries too much as it is, and it would just make my life a lot easier. Just,
Honestly.
please.
Look,
My
whatever it
marriage is
it's
not yours
between
to
you and
handle.
Beast. I'm staying out of it.
I don't have time to go into it right now. I'll explain it all to you later. I will, but I have to go. It's not what you might be thinking.
What am I thinking? Why are you still back here? What are you doing? Go! I'm not saying a thing. Also, wait. Does beauty need a glamorous? Because, like, beauty is a human, right? So, like, Beast would need a glamorous, or a glamorous. Beast would need one because Beast is, like, beastly, and, like, the wolf needs one because he's a wolf, but, like, the lumberjack and beauty don't, right? Like, because the whole point is to blend in as human. Oh fuck, Beast is also just I mean, I guess it depends on where you are in his oh, did he? Well, that's true. He is a human. He does get changed back into a human. Why are you sleeping? I want to look at this thing. This looks cool.
Flycatcher needs to dust this guy.
Can I poke it? Good security guard. He's sleeping. Let him sleepy. He's just a snoozing. He's just a little snoozing guy. Thank you, Moon. Thank you,
Been a
Moon. Sorry.
while since
Whew.
I got any mail.
My voice. Struggling. Oh.
7th day in a row.
Wait, is the closed caption actually on? I'm gonna go talk to the guy. I just want to do all this first. Beast, Mr. and Mrs.? Wait, what? But they live here. Okay.
Hey, you awake? Probably for the best.
A single digit noise. You got the third quote ever. He was cursed at age like 13, 14 by a witch. Real D-bag move. But also French nobility at the time. So also yeah, D-bag, yeah. I guess I can just go. Oh, what's that? It looks like a gum paper.
Damn thing fell off again.
Aw, put it back on.
How much longer is this gonna go on?
Your name falling off? I don't know. Upstairs, upstairs. Oh, I didn't know I can go this way. Run! Back! Wolf! Wolf, 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 wolf. Blep, 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 blep. Get in the elevator. Oh my lord, camera angles. Is that Beast?
Bigby, Hey, wait up.
Is
Have
that
you seen
Beast?
my wife? Have you seen
No,
Judy?
no, I'm so. Oh, bruh.
So, have you?
I don't know.
I'm staying out of it.
Out of what?
Whatever it is, Beast. I'm not a marriage counselor.
Damn it. Something's going on.
Okay, I feel comfortable in that decision. I did avoid his question. Oh, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Ooh, did I fuck up? Yeah. Look. I'm just a little guy.
Damn.
I'm just a little
Break
wolf.
the window.
I'm just a little wolfy man. I can't be expected to be in the middle.
What a night.
Remember, if a hard decision pops up. Oh, I can pause to ponder. It'll just stop the time. Ah, hells yeah. The refrigerator, freezer. Is there gonna be something dead in my refrigerator? Or in my freezer?
Why do I even own this? Should have got a smaller one.
Oh, it said Huff and Puff!
Damn it. Bluebeard's file.
Captain?
Never trusted this guy.
I thought he was gonna say blue balls.
Don't even remember ordering that. Probably a bad sign.
Get your fingers chopped off.
At least this still works.
Oh, I have to click off the game. I can't just pause. I can do that. I can tab out. I can shift tab. Oh, I forgot I can like move around a little bit better. Hello. Why is there a pig in my room?
Not again.
Use?
Hey, Colin. Get up.
Don't.
Huh. Hey, Big B. I'm in your chair, huh?
I've only got the one. So yeah.
I want to know who this pig is. Aww. It's Colin,
Got a
obvi.
smoke?
Let the pig smoke. Give the pig a smoke. Would that be like, like smoking the bacon? Like curing? No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forget I
Thanks.
said that. Forget I said
Couple
that.
thousand more of these, we'll be even on that house you owe me.
This has gotta stop. You can't keep sneaking off the farm like this.
The fresh air and sunshine pitch they sell you on is bullshit. I didn't escape out of the homelands to end up in some prison, okay? Don't send me back there, Big B. You don't know what it's like, okay? You haven't been there.
Calm down. I'm not sending you back.
That for me?
Nope.
The house didn't blow itself down, Bigby. That's all I'm saying. Do with that what you will. Now, I'm not saying it's reason enough for me to have definitely been offered a drink, but,
Oh,
it would have helped ease some of the pain you once caused me, yes. It also would have shown
That
everyone
makes
how different you are now.
sense.
If that was all you were saying, I'd be able to get some rest.
I take it all back. This is why everyone hates
You about to go back to the farm, buddy.
It wasn't murder. I was hungry.
Yeah, well, I'm hungry now. You don't see me tearing the flesh off of your bones.
But you would if you could.
Probably. But, no. Hate's the wrong word. They fear you more than anything. You ate a lot of people back in your day.
I thought we were all supposed to have a fresh
Hi,
start
Ash.
here.
Welcome back
I
to a
can't
weird
change the
smoking pig.
past.
Well, you can't change people's memories either. Look, I'm not saying it's fair, but it's real. People are scared of you. I mean, look at your hands.
Whoa, so about my hands?
Who'd you get in a fight with? A fable, right? I'm sure you're not going around punching Mundies.
That's my
I
job.
was doing my job, believe it or not.
Your job is to beat the shit out of fables?
No.
Sometimes I take them to the farm.
Fuck you.
Why are we here?
You think my job is easy?
Colin is one of
You
the
try
three little
keeping a bunch
pigs.
of
I didn't get
fables from
that
killing
until
each other.
until
How do you
I
think
went.
this all works?
Oh,
I don't know. How?
By being big and being bad.
angry
By
little
being
pig.
big and being bad. Don't say that shit in front of people. It's embarrassing.
Why are you being a little?
That's the attitude
dinky
that gets you in
snout?
trouble. I'm sure you were shitty to everyone you came across tonight.
Not everyone.
Name one.
The person that I helped. Beauty as well.
I don't actually know her name.
Awesome. Great example.
Don't be like that.
Life is easier with friends, Bigby. And we live a long fucking time. I know you like this whole lone wolf thing you got going for yourself. But I've seen the way you look at Snow, okay? You're not fooling me.
Will you shut up?
Well, maybe if my throat wasn't so parched, I wouldn't have to keep talking.
Wait, that doesn't make
Just give
sense.
me a drink, please.
Colin, enough already. I haven't slept in 2 days. I went out a second-story window, and I want to get in 2 seconds of shut-eye before I... Look, if I give you this, will you let me sleep?
Yeah, all right. Probably. Thanks, Bigby.
He was an angry little pig, Ash. He was. Where's Colin? Can I hide Colin? Wait, just a moment. Fuck off. Okay. Beauty or Beast? Which one's about to burst in? Nope. Neither.
Bigby,
Snow?
come with me.
Snow White?
Snow. Snow!
That's why she's got a little snow around her.
Sorry. What is it?
What
What
happened?
happened?
I just can't get into it this second. We need to hurry to...
Hi.
Hello. Good morning. Or evening.
Yeah.
What?
These walls are paper thin. We need to be careful. We'll talk outside.
Okay. Oh no.
You knew this girl? She's not a Mundy, right? Who was she? I thought I knew everyone in Fabletown. She looks familiar.
Just a girl. We didn't have a whole lot of time to chat. The woodsman. He attacked her, I stepped in. And he threatened to kill us both.
No, you don't think he...
I don't think anything yet. Just give me a second.
It's just... terrible. It took me a second to realize what I was even looking at.
So, did you see anyone else?
No, no one.
Oh,
No
was the
cabs,
security
no
jacket
voices,
hers or something?
Mundies?
Maybe, but... no.
Fred!
I don't
Can we
think
shout out
so.
Fred?
I would remember.
Okay.
Big P.
Bye, Toad. Thank you for being
Did
here.
one of
I'm gonna put
us
this up on YouTube.
do this?
There hasn't been a murder in Fabletown in a long time.
All the more reason we shouldn't start a panic before we know what's going on.
Beauty and the
Have a
Beast.
look around. We don't have much time before people will be coming through here.
What's in her mouth?
What is? It's her ribbon. There's some kind of symbol here.
Huh. I don't recognize it.
Neither do I.
Tangled? No.
Strange cut. What did this to her?
What could do something like that?
Either something very sharp or something with magic attached to it. She was placed here with some care.
What do you mean?
You can see that someone didn't just toss her here. She was deliberately placed for us to find.
What kind of monster would do this?
Yikes.
I'm sorry. This is just so surreal.
You don't usually see severed heads on your day-to-day?
What do you want to do next?
Investigate.
We still have some time. I should keep investigating the area.
Okay, good idea.
Okay. That is a good idea. But first, we're gonna take a potty break because I have to pee. So, that being said, I don't know if there's like a save to this game, question mark, or if it just saves with like cutscenes or whatever it may be. But I'm gonna turn on some words on stream and a little music, and we'll be back momentarily. Let me turn on this Video Game Study Lounge. There we go. And we're gonna do words on stream. Hells yeah. And then we're gonna come back and keep going because I'm having so much fucking fun. Like, so much fun, y'all. Autosaves? Sweet. Sweet. Okay, y'all have a good time. I'll be back momentarily. don't know. This music is so calm. I don't know what I got y'all listening to over here. But I'll let y'all finish this round of words on stream, and then we will get over to Bigby. I am thoroughly enjoying this game, Jen. It's got my heart. It's got all the things that I deeply love in games. It's detective, noir-esque mystery, always a sweet spot in my heart. It's got really good graphics. Like, I like how it looks. The like mechanics, the choose your own adventure, butterfly effect, like that kind of thing, always been my favorite game. And then it's got fables. It's got like dark fairy tale, which like is so high up on the list of what I love. I love a dark fairy tale. I love when like things get twisted, things that aren't supposed to be like story fairy tales get turned dark and grim. I think it's fun. Art style is really good. Okay. Yeah, sweet. We resume. I guess we'll keep, so we found a severed head, which is so much fun. There was stuff over here, right? Yeah. There was, like, a trail of blood. So I'm assuming that away.
Blood. Drops of blood. I'd say it's been here an hour, maybe?
Oh. I'm worried it's like Beast. What if it's Beauty? The walking is a little wonky. Just a little wonky. Yeah, no, there's nothing over here, I don't think. Look at us walk so brooding. We brood so broodingly. We fucking know how to brood. I'm gonna go this way.
Fabric. Looks like jeans. Doesn't tell me.
Oh,
much.
the paper. It's like paper-esque, not like a little laid piece of fabric. And I was like, that's not clothing. And I looked at their clothing, and it just looks like comic book scribbles.
Just some loose trash.
Oh.
Yep, more blood. Someone might have hopped the fence, got caught, then left the trail I found earlier.
Oh.
Blood. Still wet. Sharp enough.
Oh. Well, I can't go? Tide, thank you for making me hydrate. I'll do a little hydrate. Oh, but I'm sitting like a gremlin tonight because I got my burrito. I gotta fit inside the burrito. How do I do that if leg's not to chest?
What are you doing?
I'm shifting.
Better to be thorough.
Sure, just hurry up. We don't have much time.
You thought it was fucking Snow White coming up saying she found this and then...
We should move her before anyone shows up. We'll find out more at the business office. She'll be in the books. I'm sure of it. Bigby, do you have any idea what's going on?
Someone brought her here.
Why her?
Someone brought her in from the outside.
That makes sense. There's no signs of a struggle. But how do you know?
found blood on the fence, back there. Someone hopped over.
Okay, good. That's solid. So, someone from the outside.
You right, Dice.
Well, at least they didn't come from inside the woodlands.
Snow agrees with my theory.
I'm gonna have to tell Crane about this. As long as King Cole is gone, he's acting mayor. He needs to know. And he's going to find out anyway, so we may as well get out in front of it. It'll just be worse if he finds out we held it from him.
I guess it's useless to drag it out.
That's how I feel too. I'm sure he won't be happy, but it's just part of the process. Hopefully he can be rational about it.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
I'm not.
I just don't want him interfering.
Oh, we got crooked cop
Crane's not what's important
or
right now.
crooked mayor.
We need to figure out who this girl was so we can find whoever did this. Take this back to Dr. Swinehart. He can take a look at it. I'll meet you at the business office.
Dr. Swinehart. Oh, that's big sad.
What are you, blind? What, you don't see there's a line? I've been standing here a half hour already. You get to just walk in? Must be nice being the sheriff. Do whatever the fuck you like.
I work here.
And what great work you do, Sheriff.
Who is this?
That didn't feel very genuine.
Fucker.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are
You are the one
you?
bringing this to me, Miss Snow. The one who so simply stumbled upon this catastrophe on our very doorstep. The last thing I need with Mayor Cole away is a hysteria.
Why does he look
Do
like
you
a mouse?
understand me?
Yes, of course I
Don't
do.
interrupt me, Miss Snow.
You asked me a question.
Don't change the subject. You are to blame for this unpleasantness, Miss Snow.
I brought you this news as soon as I could.
You are trusted to keep things running smoothly around here. This is a disaster.
It isn't anyone's fault. Instead of trying to assign blame, maybe we should figure out how to catch the fucker who did this.
Oh, is that how you see things? Sheriff, you are the one charged with protecting the citizens of Fabletown. Your failure to do so cost someone their life and the safety of the entire community. Tell me you've been doing something. Are there any leads? Suspects? Anything. Anything at all. Any shred of evidence you two know what the hell you're doing. Because right now, I have half a mind to fire the both of you.
The woodsman is a person of interest. From what we've been able to gather, he was last seen with the victim.
That's true.
The woodsman? That drunk wretch was the cause of this?
It's a lead. Nothing's certain yet.
Well, find him. Get him in here if that's all you have to go on. You two need to get a handle on this situation quickly and quietly. The last thing we need is all of Fabletown knowing there's a killer amongst us. Snow.
Yes? Sir?
Call Vivian right this minute and let her know I'm coming in early for my massage.
I will.
Oops. Turquoise, come over here. There you go, buddy.
Where is the bottle of wine you were to purchase? Oh, bother.
Yeah,
Forget
big
it.
spoon.
Can't do anything right. Do your job,
Hit him.
Sheriff.
Hit him.
We'll find someone who can.
You know what?
Stop. We'll get on it right away, sir.
You should have let me bite him.
You would have just pissed him off more.
All right.
You should have let me bit him, bottom.
Well, that could have gone better. Well, maybe we should have dragged it out.
For what it's worth, I still think it was better to tell him.
Yeah, maybe.
Agreed.
Oh, Crane doesn't like people smoking and...
I don't like Crane.
Never mind. Smoke away.
What's the wine
To
about?
a massage?
Probably a gift. The weird part of that is that he's actually being nice to someone. I know I bought that damn bottle.
Is he gone?
Yes, thankfully. Buffkin!
Hello, Miss Snow.
Who is
Drinking
this?
this early? Where did you
Are
get
these
that?
the flying
It was by
monkeys
Mr.
from
Ichabod's
like?
desk.
Then don't you think it
What has flying
probably
monkeys?
belongs to him?
Maybe.
Wizard of Oz. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
How are you today, Mr. Bigby?
I'm fine.
Fine, Buffkin. Thanks for asking.
Buffkin, get
Aw.
the books.
Which books?
The ones with all the fables in it.
Not sure that was any more specific.
Bring the first 3.
Be back in a few minutes.
He knows the ones I'm talking about. There's bound to be information on her here. Somewhere. We'll at least be able to get her real name from the books whenever Buffkin finds them. In the meantime, poke around. Maybe the mirror.
Are
can
we
help.
in like a library of fucking?
I really have to get this appointment squared away, but let me know if you need anything.
Like all the like books and fairy tale books. Like, oh, this is like Aladdin.
This is Snow White, Mr. Crane's assistant. Hi, yes, I'm just calling to let you.
Or is there something else
Lamps are pretty
that's
much just
genie in a
lamps.
lamp?
After the genie's been freed.
Yes, that's right.
Is this the mirror on the wall?
Hey, magic mirror. I got a question.
Yes.
I don't have time for this shit.
Your impatience is callow. You're needlessly cruel, but have some respect
Yeah,
for our
Moon.
history.
Hells yeah.
Mirror, mirror. If you're able, tell me all about this fable.
See?
Cute.
Was that so hard?
Yeah,
Cute.
I'm about 2 seconds away from kicking a hole in you.
There's no need for that. Fine. Of which fable do you wish to know?
I don't know
I
her
don't
name.
know her name. Not yet, anyway.
Well, until you do, I can't help you.
Woodsman.
Show me the woodsman. Where is he?
What you see is complete. The woodsman stumbles down a street.
No shit. Which street?
I'm sorry, Bigby. I can only show you what can be seen.
Buffkin.
Show me Buffkin.
Yeah.
Hey,
oh,
put
Buffkin.
down the bottle and get to work.
Still looking.
Very cute.
Show me Snow White.
Not much of a request. She's in this very room.
That's it.
Nobody right now.
Very well. Please return should you wish to ask about someone else. Or someone new.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure we'll get it all cleared up. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, well, Buffkin found something. What's that? What's that?
Tarot.
Ooh, a
cards.
tarot deck.
Jack brought them back from Appalachia. Who knows where they were before then? Or what he did to get them.
I don't like that.
Strength. I guess it comes in all forms.
Including a wolf. Look at that. There's a little wolf on the table. The tower. Which actually isn't like a bad card. People give the tower a bad rap.
Damn. Just what the fuck is this
Oh wait,
supposed
no,
to
sorry, death. I was thinking of death. No, the tower is bad. It's not bad. It's a thing. It's however you look at it. What's this?
We'll start with these. Any information on fables in our community will be somewhere in these books.
Bigby, is that you? Bigby, you look so. Look at you, Big Wolf. Look at Big Wolf. Headless Horseman. Don't know who this is. This is definitely the person. It's Rapunzel? No, that doesn't make sense. Snow White, Seven Dwarves.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be me.
Yeah, dwarves. Less said about that, the better.
There's no way it's Little Red Riding Hood.
I think her name was Red. She didn't make it out.
What do you mean?
Red Riding Hood's knight in shabby armor.
The woodsman?
Yep, and his axe. And there's me. Not a good day.
No, I love look at him. He's so good.
Beauty and happier days. Maybe I should be out there looking.
Beast.
And her man, Beast.
Funny.
The pigs.
Colin and his
Colin.
brothers. I've seen this before.
The king?
This symbol on the man's clothes. It's
Oh,
the
it's on
same
the
as
ring.
the rings.
Could be her father or husband. This has most of the emblems of the old days and usually what family
The
they come
fuck is
from.
this character?
If it's in here, we'll have her name.
Hold on.
Ichabod Crane. Scared
Oh,
shitless.
What's that?
that's why that's
Your
familiar.
boss. His finest moment. Hard to understand how he ended up running this place.
Well, maybe it's time that changed.
Maybe so. Toad.
Nice hat. I haven't seen Badger around for a while.
He likes his privacy, I think.
Wish Toad would like his a bit more.
Okay. I'm fucking pissed that I can't recognize this fable. This person. I want to look at all this.
Ah, great.
What?
I can't read any of this shit.
I can help.
Aw. Buffkin.
Yeah, thanks.
We look out for each other.
Don't overdo it. Buffkin, translate.
An exquisite design from the good china of Toad Hall.
Mr. Toad?
He probably wrote this in himself.
That's funny. There it is.
This is the one. Where's this symbol from? Which family or story?
That's an odd one. Family name? Allerleirauh? I'll go look it up.
Allerleirauh. That means every kind of fur in German.
Donkey skin.
Yes. What does it say?
Donkey skin girl, also known as donkey skin, also known as ass skin, prefers to go by the name Faith. Poetic?
Buffkin, we don't need the commentary.
The story of Donkey Skin. There was once a great king with a beautiful queen. The queen grew ill and had her husband promise to only marry the most beautiful girl in the kingdom. After a long search, it became clear that the only woman in the land that could match her beauty was... his daughter, Faith. She had a magic cloak made from the skin of her father's prized donkey that would hide her beauty so she could escape his kingdom. Eventually, she married a prince who could see past the magic cloak and knew her true beauty. And they lived happily ever after. Should I mark it Miss Snow?
Yes. Please.
Aww.
And what's her husband's name?
Lawrence. Prince Lawrence.
We got what we came for.
Yeah.
Her name's Faith. She was married to Prince Lawrence. I mean, that's more than
Her
we...
name was Faith.
Yeah.
We should
I've
talk to the
never
husband.
heard this story.
You think he did it?
We have to
No,
notify him.
I don't. But we need to let him know about his wife.
That's fair. That's true. You should do that. That's important. Okay. Is there, could I possibly, I'll let y'all, I'll say Lime. Is there like a possibility to miss things? Or will the game not let me progress if I don't have what I need? You know what I mean? I'm assuming there's probably like, some like collectibles and stuff like that. I'm not really worried about that per se.
You know what this means?
Yeah, welcome in.
Tarot is a backwards art. I wouldn't
can't
put too
miss
much
something
stock
critical.
in its wisdom, Bigby.
Not when you've been so helpful.
Prevision's muddy. I'm as
Okay.
clear as a window.
Fucking love the
Mirror,
mirror.
mirror, blah blah able, blah 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 about this fable.
Of which fable do you wish to know?
Faith.
Show me Faith.
Ouch.
Through powerful magic, her whereabouts concealed. Unfortunately for you, these lips are sealed.
What?
These lips are sealed. It's not my choice of phrasing, Bigby. It's simply the way this has to be.
Show me Faith's father, the old king. Guess that crosses him off the suspect list.
Okay, sweet.
He's a prince, I think. Show me Prince Lawrence. What's he been doing? Where is
Oh,
this?
Where's what?
Do you know where Prince Lawrence lives?
If
Oh,
he's
shit.
a prince, probably relocated in the South Bronx. Yellow building, red window shutters.
Red frames.
Yep, that's the one. I can take us there.
Oh. That doesn't look good.
Nobody right now.
That
Anything we
looks-
can use?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll have to do for now.
Come on. We're going over there.
I think he's dead. I think he's gone. No, keep walking.
Sorry. I have to get that.
No.
Hello, Woodland's business office. Yes? He is. Hold on. Bigby. It's for you.
I don't want it to be for me.
Bigby, it's me, Toad. You there?
What do you want?
Bigby, shit. Listen, right, there's a bloke upstairs going through all the woodsman's things. Get over here, Bigby, before he... Oh, wait, hang on. Oi, shit. Hey!
Oh,
What's that
shit.
about?
Hard to say. Something going on over at Toad's place.
What about Faith's husband?
I don't know, I couldn't really tell. But he could be in trouble. And we should go there anyway to search her apartment. Toad might have to wait.
No, Toad's gonna get fucking
Whenever you're ready.
murdered. I'm ready. This is spooky.
Did Toad say who was there? Was it the woodsman?
I don't know, it's possible. Whoever it was, it didn't seem like Toad was happy to see him.
Well, maybe Prince Lawrence can wait.
Yeah, he didn't see him. He could use some help, too.
Well, where to first?
But he, oh, frick, don't make me, if you make me choose, I'm gonna be upset, Spaghetti.
Shit. Listen, right? There's a bloke upstairs going through all the woodsman's things.
You think he did it? What's her husband's name?
Lawrence. Prince Lawrence.
Fuck! Okay, well, I wish I could have looked at the mirror again. I think Lawrence is already dead. I'll say it. I don't want Toad to die.
Toad sounds like he needs help right now. We can check in on Prince Lawrence after.
Okay. I'm not looking forward to breaking the news to him anyway.
And we ended up going out the window, and I landed on Toad's car.
You guys made a real mess.
Oh.
Yeah. Looks
The
worse
car's
than the day.
still. Oh. Oh. You didn't go out the window, you went out the
somebody up there?
wall. Shit. I mean,
Here.
maybe it's a good thing silence. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, can I pause? Ah, no pause. Oh, it's fine. Hi, welcome in everyone. Hi, hello. Brant, how are you doing? You fucking wonderful individual. Welcome on in. I'm gonna go over here to the side real quick because I don't want anybody to get spoiled or not read the content warning before getting back into this. Welcome in. I'm cozy. I'm in a burrito blanket today. I am slightly high. I am playing as Big Wolf Daddy Super Detective. That's it. That's all. But welcome in. It should be pinned in my thing. My mods are also plopping it down. If you're new here, my name is Quinn, or Quinvincible. Either way, I use he, him pronouns. I am a variety streamer, believe it or not. Did you see my TV make the green thing? I've been trying to catch it for like a week now. It's done it. I told my wife it was doing a little green. It's on, now it's on stream. But if y'all don't know Bran, you're missing out. Bran is an absolutely wonderful individual. What were you doing today? Oh, let me see the shout out. But absolutely wonderful, amazing individual. We've known each other a hot minute. Am I? Ooh. Cassette Beasts? Cassette Beasts? I don't know what that is, but if you want to tell me about it, dope. But also, if you have to raid and run, totally understandable. Do what you gotta do. Go take care of yourself. Anybody that came along as well, if you have to step away, make sure that you're getting some water, feeding your pets, getting some food yourself, do your laundry, do anything you gotta do. It's like Pokemon, but already feels a bit gay. Oh, Pokemon, but gay? Sounds like a swell time. But I have a... thank you, Munu, thank you, oh my god, thank you. I'm gonna cry, thank you. But I've never played The Wolf Among Us, and I loved Black Sad, which is another detective-y noir game. Noir? I feel like I should know how to say that. But it's very similar to this, and it's Telltale, and I love Telltale, and it's a good time. So if you want to sit in and hang out with us, we are relatively fresh into the game. I do put my videos up on Quinvodible on YouTube, which is just a place to archive all my games. So if you want to catch it from the beginning, you can, because I know watching with Twitch VOD stuff is a little wonky. Also, my headphones are probably gonna die. We've had headphone malfunctions all day long, so can't wait to see if you ever read the Fables comics. They're wild. I've never read the Fables comics. I do need snacks though. I'm so excited. I'm it too. But go get your snacks. Do what you gotta do. We're big chillin'. And if my tech doesn't stop breaking, then we're probably gonna call it. But that's okay. We're gonna get back to it. This game has some heavy themes. So prepare your butts. I need to keep my hand on the controller because I've learned that I really need to keep my hand on the controller. I feel like if I would have called out to him, he would have just ran away, right? You also agree? Oh. But also, I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I have a podcast on YouTube as well with another collaborator.
Enough, all right? Just shut it.
I do a lot of things on a lot of things, including things we can't talk about here. But all of it's on my media. I also have a Discord. Greatest. Oh, sorry. I thought we were still in a cutscene. Greatest place to keep up with me, know when things are going on. I don't really have a schedule anymore. I try to stream at least twice a week. We've been doing a lot of night streams. But I kind of just go live whenever, doing whatever. I usually also have been letting peeps decide our game for the night in the Discord for the past 2 weeks. There are fun things I do that I can't talk about because Daddy Bezos will get mad. But
should probably get that fixed.
Probably, but that's not what we're focusing on right now.
Colin doesn't make this much of a mess.
What did it say, Bigby?
What kind of asshole swings a lamp at a guy?
That's our takeaway. Why am I so cold today? I am freezing. Anyway. I don't know what's happening. I'm a cold lad. Oh, he did go out the window. The green thing happened again. I saw it. Okay. Let's go. I don't think I can find anything else. That sounds like a recording. Does it not? Does it not sound like a recording? Don't get away from there. I don't like that.
Is that his son?
Toads? I think.
Be nice in there, okay?
Hey,
Talk
Toad,
to Toad's
you in
apartment.
there?
Bigby! And Miss White! Surely you didn't come all this way just for my bother? Sorry, Bigby. It's embarrassing to have to admit, but I thought there was someone else in Woody's place. There wasn't, though. Not when I checked. Nothing but a leaky drain pipe. Imagination must have got the best of me. So, you know, false alarm. Sorry for dragging Miss White into this, but thanks for coming.
Someone.
Much appreciated.
There was someone, but they took off when we got here.
Is that right? I guess your dad's ears have a year or two left. Haven't gone totally to the dogs, eh?
Oh, they took the mom or something? They took somebody.
Right? He's fine, Miss White. Just stung his little toe. Better swimmer than Walker, just like his dad.
Wanna...
So, I guess you'll be taking off now. No need to hang around here anymore. I mean, I'm sorry you came all the way here for nothing. But it was
I'm gonna
nothing,
look
really.
around.
Someone was here, and something's going on. And just so this trip wasn't a complete waste of time, I'm gonna look around a bit before we leave, okay? The longer you talk, the longer this takes, so just stand over there and shut
All
up.
right, all right. I just don't want to waste your time, is all. Have a seat. Have a cup of tea. Whatever you like.
My reaction to Big Wolfie Boy was...
Grown-ups. Am I
Big
right?
Wolfie Boy.
Hey, you know what? Flycatcher said you had a pretty awesome insect collection. I'd really love to see it. Is it in your room?
It has a weevil.
Cool.
Very cute.
Just mind the upholstery while you're looking for nothing.
Yeah, sure thing.
Why are you being so standoffish?
How'd this happen?
Fucking hell. Damn thing must have fell off a table.
Oh, just fell off.
Lamp just fell off the table.
Or the boy was faffing about, playing sods and swordfish.
Me and Bigby.
Who
Me
knows
and Bigby.
with the lad?
Oh, it's not. No, it's not even. There's not even a place for it to be plugged in. It wasn't on that table. It came from somewhere else. Don't fuck with me, Toad. There's blood on your wall, homie.
You bleeding?
Why? Is that...
It's blood. Still fresh.
Oh, well, I cut me hand. Ran around like a tit trying to pick out a wrap. Must have got some on the furnishments. Lamp in pieces, blood on the wall. It's awful, I know.
Sounds painful.
Oi! Don't you go mother-henning now. The wound didn't sit very long, you know. Perks of being a fable, I suppose. And a frog.
You're such a liar. Why you be lying? You a big lion. Oh, you scratched your hand? With a fire poker?
There's more blood over here.
On the poker?
Yeah. What happened?
Oh, well, that's how it happened, didn't it? I was poking the coals and it slipped a bit. Sliced up in my foot like a seashell. Looked like a shit ugly thing. If you're gonna say something, out with it.
Wait. You dropped it on your foot? You told me before that you cut your hand.
Yeah, no, I did cut my hand.
Yeah,
I
did
cut
you?
my hand first, and that made me drop the damn thing on my foot. Ruinous flip of events, really.
You a dirty liar.
Oh my God, will you not make a big faff out of this? There's nothing to solve here, Sheriff. I'm telling you everything that happened. Why don't you believe me?
Because there's blood
I
everywhere.
mean, things happen, you know. No crime in a little accident.
I think maybe you're hiding something.
Yeah.
Hiding something?
Maybe. But, to tell you the truth, I don't
There's
know yet.
nothing.
I know you're lying about something.
There's
But I'm not.
You're just
nothing
gonna make
to
it worse
solve.
for yourself the longer you keep up the act.
I'm not bullshitting you. Honest.
That sounds like
We'll
something
see.
somebody, the bullshitter would say. That sounds like a bullshitter. That sounds like a bullshitter instead of a bullfrog. I don't know if he's actually a bullfrog. But it sounds like shitting. It doesn't. It sounds like shitting. Ooh. Scratches. He's gaslighting. Yeah, he's fucking gaslighting out here.
What is it now? If it's blood, you know what happened.
No, there's marks here on the windowsill.
You know that
What's that
I lied about my bloody hand and foot.
No real reason. Just last night, when I'd come out, I was in a downright tizzy, mate, as you would be. And I plumb forgot the keys to this place. And I had to climb in through the bloody window.
Not actually
Really?
bloody though.
Scared Junior off to death.
Toad, I vouched for you. I was kind to you. Was I not? Was I not, Toad? For you to be giving me this level of bullshit?
There's a mark over here, too.
What do you mean?
There's a clean space in the dust over here.
Where the lamp was?
Maybe one of Junior's toys or something? I mean, who knows? Bloody hell, Bigby. What sinister bit have you uncovered this time? I left the tap water running? Didn't stop the recycling? What's the point of all this, mate? Really?
That broken lamp used to be here, right? Just tell me what happened.
Nothing happened, mate. Nothing! And why did the lamp have to be there, of all the blooming pointless inquiries? It's my own place. Don't you think I know what happens in it?
Because the lamp was always over here, Toad. It was over here, and now it's there. The space in the dust is from where you moved
I
it.
did some refiguring. Who fucking cares? Bloody hell, mate. Come on, get off with this.
You're lying. Little liar, liar pants. Little lion, stinky lie pants. Little pants of the lion. Like a little stink toad. Little stinky liar toad.
And why's the lock busted?
Eh?
The lock. It looks like somebody kicked in the door.
A spot of dust and a broken lock. What are you getting at, mate? Oh, for Christ's sakes, a fucking lock's been busted for weeks, mate. Right, it's just like everything else in this bloody building.
Oh!
Why'd you climb in through the window then?
Huh?
Why'd you climb in through the window?
Let's
you
go,
said it yourself.
Toad.
The lock's been rotten
Caught
for
in
weeks.
a lie.
You wouldn't have needed a key to get in.
Fucking
You're such a
hell.
liar.
Just what are you on about, mate?
That you're a
After the
liar.
state I was in, I didn't have me head. That's all it was. I forgot the fucking handle was
I
fucking
forgot.
busted. And I'll tell you what else. It's embarrassing you bringing all this shit up, all right?
It's embarrassing that you're
putting
lying
in
to
a
me.
third degree and all that. Bigby, come on. I'm begging for mercy over here, old boy. I was looking forward to a nice afternoon. Just me and me son, and you've taken up enough of a day with all this sniffing around at me private belongings. I'm sorry I called, really I am. But will you please just bugger off?
Not yet.
Not yet, you say, to my face. You think I'm
Yeah.
hiding something from you?
I think you're hiding
Well, you've had to go out the room for a fair bit
several
of time now.
somethings from
Nothing's
me.
here.
From me.
So when? When are you gonna leave?
When I
mean,
wanna.
I feel like I'm on trial here. In my own bloody home.
You tell me the truth.
When you start telling me the truth, Toad.
Well, I've told you the truth, mate. Jesus Christ, what more do you want?
You lied.
Toad, these stories have made no sense. You didn't cut yourself on the poker. You didn't forget your keys. You didn't bump the lamp off the table. You want to tell me what's going on?
She doesn't think much of me, I don't think.
Oh, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Progress? Mr. Toad, you're bleeding.
Take off the hat.
It was that butcher, a Tweedle, Dumodee. You gotta strip them down to their johnnies before you can tell which is which. He come bulging in, screaming about something the woodsman had. Or thought he had, I don't know. He tore up the place, beat me up when I said I didn't have it. I tried to go out the window, but he pulled me back in. It's been a hard morning, I could tell you that.
What was he looking for?
I have no idea. I would have told you. I wanted to, really, I did. But he said if word of this ever got back to him, if he ever thought you knew, or Miss White, he'd come back and kill my boy. I even tried to give the bastard a coat. He wouldn't take it.
Whose coat?
The girl.
Dad borrows things from people who live here. Sometimes.
Borrows?
I don't steal nothing. Turn around here would astonish you, mate. I merely repossess what's been left behind.
Well, we'll be taking the coat now. If she has next of kin, family, anyone.
Thank you, Dad.
All right. Fetch him the fur. Fine bit of dress it is.
Oh, shit.
No, I wouldn't wear it outside.
Wait.
Ooh.
It's an envelope.
Fucking hell, of course there is. For my luck, it's a map to some bloody doubloons.
It's addressed to Prince Lawrence. Do you want to try and give it to him, or...?
Oh, he's so dead.
Don't make it a dilemma.
Nah, he's dead.
I'm sorry, Faith.
What could she have been sorry for?
I don't know. But maybe Lawrence does.
Well, it's been quite a surprising day for all of us, hasn't it? I'd see you out, but I'm afraid of dripping any more blood in the place.
It was very nice talking to you, TJ.
Thanks. See ya.
If that small toad dies, I'll fuck some shit up.
Does it always go that smoothly?
Not often.
So, the princess now?
Lawrence is, yeah. It's our best lead.
He's dead.
Our only lead, really.
When you put it that way.
I don't want to stay here any longer than we have to, so let's just pick an approach
I've only
and
known
stick to it,
TJ
okay?
for 5 minutes, but if anything happens to him...
Just humor me.
Oof.
Let's just keep our focus on questioning Lawrence. Where she was, who she was with.
That's so difficult. That's such a quick decision. He's dead. I don't know what to tell you. It's because we didn't go. I'm just gonna open the door. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Go get Dr. Swinehart. I'll stay with you.
No. Let me go.
What is it that you're telling us? Bigby, water. Kitchen.
What? Go. Is this my fault? Could I have saved him? Pay the rent next week. Pizza in the fridge, please don't. For me.
Did you find it yet?
Shut up. Shut up. I'm Snow. Oh god. Oh my god.
If you have something to ask him, you should do it now.
Is he gonna die?
Who did this to you?
Faith.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Could we have saved him? I don't think I could have saved him. Could we have saved him?
Do you still have that letter?
Yes.
It's only 2 words, but he died without seeing them. I'm sorry. We need to figure out what happened here and find whoever did this.
Yeah, it's Hyde. Yeah, that'd be dope. I really thought it wanted me to go to Toad first. Damn. Fuck shit.
When do you think that was taken?
Before all this. Bullet passed through the chair. Yeah. The angle works if he shot himself.
That's why he said Faith. Really?
Strange. Hard edge to this pool, like something was here and got moved.
I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna go back. I've made my decision. I'm not going back. I'm not gonna go back.
Still a little sticky.
Yeah. We went to what seemed to be the most pressing issue. I figured it was some kind of suicide and that we were too late already.
The mirror showed me this. Maybe I should have come here first. It's sharp, and there's blood on the blade.
I just don't understand. Why would someone want to kill him?
You did the same thing.
What is it?
This gun wasn't fired recently. Maybe a week ago.
Oh my god.
Or more.
Can you just smell that?
Fingerprints?
They'll be on the grip and the trigger.
What are they?
Prescription sleeping pills.
Bigby got that super sniffer. Bigby can smell the big stinks. This doesn't look precarious. Oops, sorry.
Son of a...
What is that?
My dearest Faith, I've never meant to hurt you, and I cannot endure knowing that I have. This is for the best. I'll see you again. Oh, love your devoted Lawrence. Owie.
It's stuck to the bed.
Oh, go, Jen. Go work in the morning.
My dearest Faith.
Hells yeah!
I
Thank you so much
never
for
meant
being
to
here.
hurt you.
Have a good rest of your time, son.
Knowing that I
Have good sleeps.
This
Have good
was
work.
for the best. I'll see you again. Love, your devoted Lawrence.
Yeah, Toad does seem like
Hopefully
the
they're
most pressing
together now.
issue.
About all we can hope for at this point.
Damn, I thought so hard. I was like, damn.
Secondhand paperbacks. Old encyclopedias. Dusty. No one's read these in a while.
Fuck!
Stay here.
No!
Hey! Stop! Leave me alone!
Oh, frick-a-dick. You, go! This one, go. Grab his foot! Grab his foot! Alright, Bigby, go! Bigby. What the fuck? Oh, this is a... Oh, I got him!
Hey!
I got him! I got him!
Ease up, Bigby. We're on the same side here. You son of a bitch.
Why'd you run?
Make me run after you. Why did you run? What? Why did you run?
Fuck, man.
I agree,
Because
Tide.
you chased after me. The fuck was I supposed to do?
A man's dead.
I know how it looks, but I had nothing to do with that.
You're covered
Bullshit.
in blood.
You're covered in blood.
Look, I was just asking him about the girl. That's all. When I mentioned her being dead, he freaked out. I figured someone had told him. How was I supposed to know? Shit. Fucker shot himself right in front of me. I couldn't stop him, man. You're looking for the woodsman, right? I know where he is. My guy says he's holed up at the Trip Trap. We can go over there right now, the both of us. My employer's looking to ask him a few questions too.
Who's
your
your
boss?
employer?
I can't tell you that. It's confidential. Sorry. Sure you understand.
Nope. Can't say that I do. Come on. You're coming with me.
This could have been easy.
Oh, don't worry. It still is. Come on.
Dumb.
Dumb? Yeah, it is. Look, it'd be much easier for you
No, I'm D. He's dumb.
Oh shit, fuck.
You almost looked peaceful.
to... Yep.
Except you're lying in a dirty alley.
Yep.
With an open wound on the back of your head.
Yep. What happened?
Well, the one guy hit you, then the other one started kicking you.
Wow.
Things of ribs.
Then they jumped into a car and drove off. Come on, get up. Guess we're out of options.
Dee mentioned the Trip Trap.
Then that's where we'll go. I'll call a cab.
I think I'm happy with my decision of Toad. I wanted to keep
Every time I think
Lawrence
I'm getting a
alive.
handle
I
on
am
what's
so
going on,
upset about it.
Things just get more complicated.
But
It
I feel
feels
like Toad was better.
We're always a step behind.
The Woodsman is the only lead we've got, and he was one of the last people to see Faith alive. Getting some answers out of him will start to clear things up.
I hope you're right. Bigby? Be honest with me. Who do you think did this? I know it's still early, but I just feel a step behind. It's an uncomfortable feeling.
We haven't talked to him yet, but,
Tell me. I don't think anything would surprise me at this point.
I feel like Bluebeard has something to do with this.
I had the same suspicion.
I don't know how or why just yet, but if you're asking, this is his M.O. There's still a lot of questions. We find the woodsman, figure out what he knows, and go from there.
Makes sense. That's probably the best approach.
Oh, y'all, is episodes for one story? Like, will it, like, this is like episode 1, right? And it says Faith, and I know there's at least 2.
You're
I
doing
wish
a
there was-
really...
Ah. Also, hey, welcome in.
Sorry.
To this one story. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's...
Vomit-inducing.
It's nothing. I just...
Say...
Seeing all this today...
Oh, like Life is Strange.
There are
Okay, got
fables
you.
that are struggling worse than I'd imagined. We pay so much attention to the residents of the woodlands. You forget there's a whole community out there to serve. To have to turn to... prostitution. I wish there was more we could do. This isn't how I thought it would be. But Crane runs things his own way.
You're doing your best.
It's all anyone can do.
Obviously, you don't know what I do all day. Right now, I'm the gatekeeper, making sure none of these disenfranchised folks are, as he puts it, wasting his time.
You'll fix it.
I don't know. It's just a broken system. The fables who walk in through the back door like Bluebeard, we have all the time in the world for them. You try and come in through the front door, through the proper channels, asking for anything, needing help. Well, I turn you away. Now things are worse off than they've ever been.
Well, that's not true.
Right. We've had it worse, but not by much. Maybe this isn't for me. I thought public service was pure. A way to help.
You'll figure
it out. You're better than I am with this political stuff.
Well, that's not saying much.
I trust you to make the right decision.
I hope you're right.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe you should handle this one.
Yeah.
It's like Rumpelstiltskin.
Maybe I should.
That was a ginormous guess.
Just be careful, please.
Smooching. You too.
The same goes for you.
Ah!
I will.
I love them. Snow White and the Wolf? Can Snow White talk to animals? Is that the one that can talk to animals? Or is that Beauty? I think it's Beauty too. I think it's all Disney princesses can talk to animals.
What do you want, Sheriff?
I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Well, fucking hello. Now you can get the fuck out of here.
Look, I'm not even gonna ask where he is now, okay? I just want to know the last time he was here. That's all.
Who?
I'm being nice, so try again.
He hasn't been here for a few weeks. No, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he hasn't been here in a while, if he's been here at all, which... I don't know.
Smack him.
Don't let him tell you what to do. You're your own woman.
Well, this is me talking, Bigby. Fuck off.
Go hit him. Hit him. Hit him.
Come on. Have you seen the woodsman around?
I don't know who that is.
Big guy, beard, flannel, kind of a shitbag. Hard to miss. You sure you don't know him?
You're lying.
How about I buy you a drink?
How about you keep your drink and piss off?
I'm gonna start hitting. I'm being real fucking nice. I'm gonna start hitting. I'm gonna start fucking swinging.
Let me solve the mystery for you. They're pickled eggs.
Oh, I know what they are. I'm just trying to figure out why anyone would eat this.
Yeah, I agree. Did he just have a case of cigarettes in his fridge? I just realized that's what those were. That was like a brand of some kind of wolf food. You don't need it. It's fine.
You guys playing right now?
Nah.
I'm gonna erase your board.
H? Well, that'd be you, Holly. So, who's WD?
No idea.
Because it's also the first letter in the name.
Woodsman. Yeah, I get it.
If you're not playing, then you don't mind if I,
What a little dickwad. That's fine. They weren't playing. She said they weren't playing, and they're being very, very difficult right now.
Whose is that?
Someone who left.
You're being really dismissive.
Why didn't you dump it?
Ooh.
If you want a cleaner place, feel free to get the fuck out of here.
I'm sensing a very hostile tone from you. Don't deny it. I'm good at picking up on this stuff.
Matches. Matches are fine.
A lot of these walk out the door?
Yeah, it's called advertising.
I thought that
You
was
get a
called.
refund?
Fuck
I
you.
thought the bar was
The
called.
word's
I think
getting
it's
out.
Trip Tap Trap. Yeah, but I thought it said Thirst Trap for a minute, and I was like, my God, we're not being subtle about it at all. About Biggs B. Wolf. Dalen will come in.
A lot of stools in this place.
You got a problem?
You got a problem, friend?
I don't like you, and now you're sitting right next to me.
You could ask me to move.
You gonna order something? Or you just here to bother my customers? You know what I mean.
Give me a Midas Gold.
You want a lime?
No.
No.
Well, I don't got any anyway.
Think that's funny?
Yep, think it's fucking hilarious.
Why are you being such a little...
It was all right. This is fun. This back and forth. We should really do it more often. But, I'm starting to lose my patience.
Are they whistling that song? Like the song is like...
Ollie, you're out of paper towels and,
Oh.
Number 1 or number 2? For your sake,
Oh.
I hope it was 2. Otherwise, you're probably shitting your pants right now.
you and me been going at it for hundreds of years. I'm through fighting.
Well, Woody, that makes 2 of us. You're in luck. I decided to switch seats.
Fred! 2 favorite dog boys? Don't fuck with me. I told you, I'm gonna start swinging.
On me. Ended up with an axe in his head.
I'm gonna start swinging.
Last fella I put my hand on ended up in the ground.
I'm gonna start swinging. I told you I'm gonna start swinging.
Okay, Gran.
Grant? Yeah, I'm good.
It's funny.
How are you doing?
Just a minute ago, no one seemed to know who you were.
Yeah, well, everyone knows you. Big bad wolf. Now I'm the bad guy and you're a sheriff. What kind of fucking world is that, huh?
Come on, Woody. Why'd you do it? No bullshit.
Same reason people do a lot of awful things. For money. I'd walk past her place for weeks. She didn't look like it, but she had money. I was sure of it. And she wouldn't put up any kind of fight. I was gonna rob her. And the night I finally get up the nerve to do it, there you are, fucking things up for me. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I wasn't there to save her.
What are you talking about exactly?
Red Riding Hood, her grandmother. I was there to rob him. But when I showed up, you were already there, lying in the bed.
What?
I only saved her because I thought she might give me a reward. But she didn't give me shit. Except a bunch of people thinking I'm something I ain't. I played along as long as I could. Only thing I managed to get from it was a free drink every now and again. Lot of good that did.
Did you kill Faith?
What? Faith? Who's that?
The girl you were beaten on this morning.
No. I was here. I swear.
It doesn't look good when a girl you were just smacking around shows up dead hours later.
She's dead? Bigby, listen, I'm a piece of shit, okay? I know that. I hit that girl, I did. I shouldn't have, but I didn't kill her. You believe me, right?
No.
They're gonna string me up, Bigby. Like you said, it looks fucking bad. It looks really bad, but I didn't do it.
He was here.
I believe him.
That's the fucking truth, Sheriff.
You see? Bigby, please. You can't. They'll throw me down the witching well. That's what they'll do. And I didn't do it.
I believe
you
him.
know that.
Yeah, it wasn't him. There's something bigger.
Hey, stop! This isn't what I want.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Woody! Shit ain't just about you. It's about this fucking lapdog. Only come sniffing around this part of town when the rich fucks in the woodlands need a shakedown. Ain't that right, Bigby?
Lapdog?
I told him I'm gonna start
Really?
swinging.
Holly's sister goes missing. No one gives
I'm
two
gonna start
shits
swinging.
about her. Paperwork, waiting rooms, and that bitch Snow White looking right past me, then ushering me out the fucking door.
I wouldn't call her that. It's happened before, and it doesn't end well.
I didn't realize you were the bitch of the bitch.
I'm told him I was gonna start swinging.
Seemed to be enough.
Don't be so sure.
Oh, good.
The fucking shit.
Should have walked out of here when you had the chance.
Come on, you're scaring the lady.
Don't worry about me.
Ooh. Hello? What am I doing? Shit. I'm so fucking scared right now. I am so fucking scared. Big B. Big B. Big B. Lost! Lost high. Lost, thank you for the raid. What were you doing? What were you crafting? What were you doing? WASD, WASD, WASD. Oh, I'm getting wolfly! I'm a wolfy boy in a wolfy world. Life and fur. Ooh, we big wolf. We a big bad wolf. We a big B bad wolf. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh my god, I don't know what I just clicked. I don't know what I just clicked. Oh, I don't know what oh god. Oh, fuck, shit, fuck. Oh, don't kill him though. Don't like kill him. Oh, he did start it. He fucking shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have hit me, I told him. Has he? Because he started swinging. It's fine. We don't have to. It's fine. My hand is not coming off.
Whiskey. Double.
Fucking wolf boy. Hi, welcome in, Raiders. I'm Sir Wolf Boy, Case Detective, Lad, Wolfenstein.
Shit.
Oh,
It's
fuck!
not like you were gonna pay for it anyway.
I forgot I gave my money to Faith.
Don't even think about it.
Is this the type of treatment I can expect if I let you take me in?
He started it, yo.
He started it.
You hit him first!
No, but you fucking liar. Oh, wait, did I? I think I did. He was being an asshole. I told him I was gonna hit him.
Alright, I got $100 for the first bloke that can tell me something about a girl named...
Fuck.
Fucking get him. Fuck. I don't think the woodsman. I'm going for him.
Fuck, man. That's not necessary.
The woodsman's. Let him go.
He's the one you want, not me.
Let him. No,
Your brother
he's
won't
fine.
be saving you this time. Come on.
Also,
You're
you
under
fucking
arrest.
kicked me.
I told you I didn't do it.
And you got nothing to worry about.
No, that was an easy one. Fucking liar. Oh wait. Codex. I need to check the codex. You're right. Also, hi, welcome in. If you came in on that raid. Oh my goodness, Lost. What were you doing? Let me go see. Oh, you were doing making time. What were you making? Were you working on cosplay stuff? I say cosplay, outfits and such.
Do anything stupid, and I'll throw you down the witching well myself.
But welcome in. We're doing Wolf Among Us for the first time. No spoilers. My safe word is lime. I'll restart this whole game if it's Faith, or if it's Snow. I'll restart. Shit, it's Beauty. Oh wait, no, sorry. I thought the stuff was happening. Oh shit, fuck, shit. I'm so sorry. Oh shit, fuck. Fucking shit, fuck. I thought it was something about. Sorry, I was super wrong. Fuck. No, it is Snow! I thought it was Beauty because of Beast. Fuck shit. Fuck shit, fuck.
We had something very special.
Was that supposed to happen?
Where's your brother?
Was that supposed to happen?
You. Give me one good reason I should tell you anything.
That feels like too big of a plot point.
Oh my.
A serial killer? Oh God, and it's one of us.
Wait, the woodsman's still walking the streets.
But wait,
To put a lid on this. If you can't manage
the
it,
woodsman
I'll find
was in the
someone who
bar.
I found out where she's been staying.
I know she's here. You must have seen her. What are the two of you hiding?
Thanks for not saying anything.
Doesn't matter. Maybe you just want to punish someone. We can arrange that.
What did you do?
Friend on friend. At the end of the end.
Jesus Christ, Bigby. Is that you?
That's what I thought. She seems like too big of a plot point. She seems like way too big of a plot point. It feels like her shit was like meant to happen. Because like we couldn't do anything. We literally said bye to her. And then she did whatever. She just went off for the whole entirety of us doing stuff. I feel like if it could have been helped, then we would have been much more involved in the situation. Fuck shit. But also, Lost Galaxies, welcome in. How was your stream? You came in at a spicy moment. Did you give Faith your money? Aw. Hells yeah. Did you help Beast the truth about Beauty? Oh, smaller amount. Where did you go? Where did you decide to go first? 69%. Went to Toad. You did not prevent Prince Lawrence's death. That was my. Fuck. What is this? Who is this? You and 13% of players pointing their finger at Bluebeard? Oh, that's Bluebeard. I don't know who Bluebeard is. I felt bad assuming. Who's this? Who did you arrest when it came down to the wire? Yeah, there's no reason to arrest the Huntsman. That didn't feel necessary. Damn. Fucking damn. Y'all. Shit. So. Shit. Good shit. This game is good fucking shit. Shit. But like. Sorry. Also, if you're new here, I have a lot of stuff. I have like TikTok, YouTube, Discord, all that goodness. I'm on a lot of stuff. So I'm reeling with this right now. So I thought because the cop cars were there, I thought I saw blood trailing out of a cop car, and I was like, no fucking way I'll restart if it's Snow White. And then we went past the cop cars, and I was like, oh, it's not Snow. And then we saw Beast, and I was like, shit, it's gonna be Beauty. Because Beast was there. Why was Beast there for Snow? Fuck. Okay, so I had seen the message about my mods are trying to keep spoilers out of chat times. I feel like that one was, there's no way we could have saved Snow. We could have saved Lawrence and we didn't. That's fine. I also do ask a lot of rhetorical questions, but like, yeah. But like that one was fine. Oh, my eyeball. I feel like something's been in my eye this whole time, y'all. All that makeup last night. Ah, I dropped it! I dropped my pen now! I can't. I don't. No, it's first, sir. Oh, fuck, shit, fuck. I'm letting the stuff play through because I like credits and stuff. Fuck shit. I want to look at the codex. I need to look at the codex. I don't think I did that like the entire time. Book of Fables. Poopy. Poopy fuck stick. Snow White may seem cold, but this stems from her life of mistreatment and abuse back in the homelands. After escaping assault and imprisonment, not to mention an attempt on her life, she married Prince Charming. It wasn't long before Snow discovered that Charming cheated on her with estranged sister Rose Red. Is this true? And she divorced him. After the exodus, Snow focused on her attention of setting up a safe haven for fables in the New World. She now serves as assistant to the deputy mayor of Fabletown. Not anymore. Fucking, she's dead. The renowned Big Bad Wolf. He's known for tormenting pigs and girls in red hoods, but is trying to put those dark days behind him. Bigby now acts as Fabletown sheriff and remains in his human form mostly. However, due to his rough past, the citizens of Fabletown are slow to trust him. Bigby is determined to show that he's truly changed, but some instincts are just too hard to control. Donkey Skin Girl, Faith. Faith, otherwise known as the Donkey Skin Girl, made it through the exodus? Sorry, from the magical homelands with the clothes on her back, her husband, and nothing else. She was once a beautiful princess, happily married to Prince Lawrence of a neighboring kingdom. Her life should have had a happy ending, but the mundane city of New York wasn't kind to her, or her marriage. With no money, Faith found herself turning tricks to make the rent for a cheap apartment on the outskirts of Fabletown. She had a difficult life, but she did what she could to survive in an unfamiliar world. Beauty. Caring wife. Beauty and her husband Beast once lived in an enchanted castle, but they were forced to flee the homelands in the Exodus, leaving all of their wealth behind. Now they live in a modest studio in Fabletown, New York. Though times are hard, with Beast working multiple jobs to pay the bills, the couple have the longest lasting relationship of all the Fables. Okay. Beast. occasional bickering, the two are truly in love and the longest. Oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. Thank you for making me hydrate. Mr. Toad, I don't know who. Oh, is it from that book? The Toad book? Thanks. Colin, I adore Colin. Ichabod Crane. 150 for 100, nearly 115 years, Mayor of Fabletown. Love Buffkin. Is the winged monkey from the Land of Oz. He's now the Fabletown librarian. Fabletown, the farm. I'm assuming short turn for mundane. Mundy is a catch-all term for the fables used to refer to the non-magical inhabitants of their adopted home. Yeah. Glamours are the things. Glamours are spells that allow the user to change their appearance. They are expensive, but can be purchased by non-human fables in order to pass for human among the Mundies. Cheap glamours can be found in the seedier parts of Fabletown. Seedier? But they are often unreliable and prone to sudden failure. Prince Lawrence and his wife Faith immediately fell victim to the harsh realities of the mundane world. They moved to New York hoping to find aid and community of fellow fables. Without oh wait, did the music stop? Oh, it's because my headphones died. Oh, poopy. Okay. I mean, I'll keep reading this next time, but poop. That's fine. Y'all can still hear me. That was fun. Y'all probably aren't going to be able to hear the music either. I can't believe we got through a whole game. Damn. Damn. Alex, hello. My headphones just died. I will plug them in. I'm trying to exit the Wolf Among Us. Yeah. I can't play music because my headphones died. And it's taking from my headphones for some reason. I don't know. We're gonna raid out anyway. It's just gonna be a much quieter raid. But that was fun. That was a good time. I really enjoyed that, and I'm really excited to play more. That was really fucking good. That was really good. And it's already got my heart with being so like fables, dark, noir-esque thing. Damn, sir. These headphones have lasted a while, to be fair. I don't think I've gotten them a full charge, and the headphones I was going to use tonight just wouldn't work. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to have wife see what's up with that. Maybe they just needed a solid charge. But we're going to see who's on, and we're going to tell them. We're going to tell them that I can't hear anything. Let's see who's on. But I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was really fun. That was fun for me. Oh, Demo's on. Oh, and the Grandpa Living too. We can go see. Oh my god, there's so many people on. Atello's doing Sea of Thieves. Oh my goodness, we got Atello on Sea of Thieves. Gur Rules, wonderful friend of the stream. Grandpa Living, Never Living, the Game Cleric, Fraggy. Oh my goodness. Dim's doing some Terraria though, and that sounds like a really cozy vibe. You just gotta tell Dim that I don't have headphones on. I mean, I'll say it too. But yeah. That's it. Y'all are awesome. I'm not gonna make us wait around because there's no music and it's just my voice. And that's spooking me. So we're gonna read the Dim. If you wanna give a follow or get in the Discord to know when I go live next. I've been going live twice a week, usually either between the time of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, since those are the days I have the most time, because you can catch me on Dad the Stream, Thay's Hammer on Fridays and Sundays, and Tuesday and or Thursday, depending on what day we do D&D. And then also I'm doing podcast tomorrow, and that'll be up either tomorrow or Friday, because doing podcast with the Grob. And if you haven't caught up, you could do exclamation resting or RTF in my chat. Yeah, thank you, Zaid. And it has the little YouTube link for the podcast. It's been a really good time. I deeply enjoy doing podcasts with him. But anyway, we're gonna go raid the dim. So I guess either follow or don't follow. If you want to know when I go live again. And we have been voting on what game to do for the day in the Discord. But I can tell you right now, we're gonna do Wolf Among Us next time because I need to know what happens. So, thank y'all for being awesome. Y'all are dope. We're gonna go raid the dim. Y'all are great. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing stuff with me. Thanks for hanging out. Wow. I have nothing else to say, and I'm gonna immediately probably send us out. Have a good rest of your day or nights, and I'll see you next time I see you.